Welcome to the Disney Hour Express podcast. I'm Abbie.
And I'm Rob. We are two hopelessly romantic Disney enthusiasts.
Sharing fun stories, secret tips, and family travel experiences.
If you are a Disney newbie, or maybe a season pass holder, we hope you find this information helpful.
We turned our love of Disney into a unique boutique travel agency that books Disney and Universal vacations.
We've got a lot of stories, so cozy on up, choose your favorite drink,
whether that be a cocktail or a hot chocolate,
and enjoy the Disney Hour Express.
Hey, Potterneers. Welcome back to the Disney Hour Express episode 120. That is so many episodes that we've been talking your ears off. Thanks so much for joining us. We are taking a delicious detour to Disney Springs. Now, there are so many restaurants and we can't review every single one.
Disney Springs is huge.
It's ginormous.
It's like so much bigger than you realize. It's bigger than I realize.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Is it
I
bigger
feel like
than...
we haven't even gone to all, there's just no way. We just go
I
down
feel
one
thing.
Yeah,
I feel like we kind of just go in and go to the left. And then we're just walking by the Polite Pig and then going through some of the, the Star Wars shops and
past the movie theater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, the Coke store and there's so much else to there.
Yeah, no, I agree.
There's so many restaurants. It's crazy.
Yeah. 100%. So, that's why we can't do every single one, but we're going to break down the very important parts.
We're doing Disney Springs. We're going to talk a little bit about the resorts coming up in a little bit, what's going on there. And, we're going to catch up on some news.
An epic foodie adventure and news.
And
we're going to talk about our friends that are down there right now.
We're going to have a foodie adventure by telling you places that you can't go to with the Disney dining plan. But...
This is true because we want to save you the embarrassment and the time. So if you've joined us previously for our 4-part Disney dining adventure, surprise, this is a total bonus and an afterthought. So we hope you enjoy.
Yes. And I'm not going to do the whole spiel about the Disney dining plan. You're going to be talking about it 4 times, right?
You already know. But if you, for some reason, don't know what Disney Springs is, you might still be the person who thinks it's downtown Disney, which is okay. Because that was almost the original name. It was the Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village first in 1975.
It rolls right off the tongue.
Then it went to downtown Disney, and then it's Disney Springs. So it's over the past few years. It's gone through several name changes and expansions. And then
we talked about where Abbie used to go to raves and stuff there and all these things.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She got her glow
Listen,
stick.
And when we said it was huge, we meant it was 120 acres. That's how huge it is.
Big.
It's ginormous. What else can I tell you about? There was this really, in my research about Disney Springs, every time I try to bring you some really random news, are you ready? In 2017, a very serious incident occurred on the 17th of March when a large fish tank.
Oh, fish tank. Okay. Wait, you got it the way you said that there. Okay, large fish tank.
Burst.
Oh.
And flooded the T-Rex Cafe. And thousands of little tropical fishies were just flopping everywhere.
Then everybody was like, sushi.
Maybe. I imagine that the restaurant had to close. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And now I'm never going to look at those fish tanks the same way, right? Because they can burst, I guess.
It just shows you kids when they tell you not to tap on the glass. Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah, who knows?
Don't do it. Anyways, all right.
Okay.
So let's jump into some of our news here. Would you like to kick it off?
So, this is a list, and to be honest with you, I thought it'd be bigger. But I guess it kind of goes into what is going on next. These are the restaurants that require 2 table service, right? So if you're getting your standard Disney dining plan,
right,
with it has table service, this one will require 2 for each person that's eating 2 table service.
So you got to save up those credits.
So this is a lot. So there's 4 of them. There's Haleo by Jose Andres.
Yes.
There's Morimoto Asia, asterisk, it's for dinner only.
Okay.
And then Paddlefish and the Boathouse.
The Boathouse.
So those require 2 table service credits.
So good to know.
I got to say, I've not been to either one of them.
Either one or all 4?
All 4. Either one. I only look at things in 2s. So I've never been to either one of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's worth it or not, but I'm just saying that if you heard anything good, like, you know, your cousin Bobby told you, hey, you should really go to Haleo. And
yeah.
Man, I only got 1 table service credit left. I can't go.
Well, you know what? I mean, I've heard wonderful things about all of these places. So if you don't know already, we usually do our annual bowling over at Splitsville. So we're used to...
There's fine dining, but we're going to eat on a bowling alley.
Right. It's like touch all the bowling balls and then eat some nachos and beer.
Exactly.
Listen, I can't complain about Splitsville's food.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's really good.
You know, it's good.
And known for their sushi, too.
We ate at another place. I couldn't tell you what the name of the place was. It was like kind of Tex-Mex.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
Spanish,
that.
Like
and it was
American food or something.
Like, yeah.
Why did
we eat there?
What?
Why did we eat there?
I don't know. Somebody. We were with people. We were with friends, and the kids were in strollers. I remember, and like
it was probably just because it was like raining so hard, and we just needed.
I think it rained when we got out. Like it didn't rain in there. It rained when we left.
Listen,
but yeah, I think we specifically went there for whatever reason.
Okay.
Because we wanted more margaritas. I think it was like
that sounds like us. Yeah. Anyways, all right. So cool. 2 table services. Now here are some that do not accept the dining plan.
And so Disney Springs, just like there's a couple over the past few episodes we talked about in the parks, there's a few restaurants that are not actually run by Disney. They're not Disney owned and operated, so they don't accept the dining plan. That's
Space 220.
Yeah, Space 220 is one of them. But there's a lot of them here that are not owned by Disney. Right? It's just they're in Disney Springs, but Disney doesn't actually run any of these, so they don't accept the Disney dining plan. So Abby's going to start naming them now.
Here we go. All right. So Wine Bar George, which is a restaurant and bar, The Landing, does not accept dining plan. Our Frontera Cocina, Town Center, Wolfgang Puck Bar and Grill, also in the Town Center, Summer House on the Lake.
That's a new one,
on the west side. That's a new one. And then STK Steakhouse, which is in The Landing.
Yeah.
So none of those will accept your dining plan. They won't even ask you. It is hard, cold cash or credit card that they will accept.
And there's also now on top of the table service, there's also some of the quick service spots around Disney Springs that also don't accept the dining plan.
Which is kind of a slap in the face, right? You're so used to swiping your Magic Band and then you're like denied.
And you're like, nope, I got to pay for all of this.
Right.
And some of them are like well known.
Mm-hmm. So this makes sense to me. Now, the Ghirardelli soda fountain and chocolate shop is a no. Dockside margaritas, I get that though, because it's just alcoholic beverages, right? So they wouldn't take the quick service dining plan. Joffrey's handcrafted smoothies at Disney Springs Marketplace. That's kind of strange, but all right. The Lava Lounge at Rainforest Cafe. Now, that's interesting to me because the Rainforest Cafe in general would take your dining plan, but the Lava Lounge would not. I guess because they'd consider it table service, maybe. Starbucks at Disney Springs Marketplace. No.
Yeah, why Starbucks? Come on.
Sunshine Churros at Disney Springs Marketplace. That makes me sad. Swirls on the Water. Wetzel's Pretzels kiosk at Disney Springs Marketplace. The Basket and Wine Bar George. Again, no. Aaron McKenna's Bakery in New York City, or NYC, I should say. The Ganachery and Gideon's Bakehouse.
I know. Those amazing cookies.
Take the quick service dining plan. That's sad. Now, I know everybody loves a Gideon's cookie, and you wait so long. Oh my gosh. There's more, guys.
There's a whole nother.
I had to flip to the next page. Are you ready? Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company.
So it's interesting that that the Joffreys
Yeah.
aren't accepting it. And I guess maybe it's just because they're just coffee and tea. So it's,
Yeah.
I thought you could like use a snack credit on it, but I guess not.
Guess not. Vivoli Il Gelato, Coca-Cola Store Rooftop Beverage Bar, Sprinkles,
And getting them cupcakes.
Stargazers Bar, Disney Food Trucks, Everglazed Donut and Cold Brew, The Front Porch at House of Blues, Haagen-Dazs Kiosk at Disney Springs West Side, McGuffins, Salt and Straw, really? And the other Starbucks at Disney Springs West Side, Sunshine Churros again at Disney's West Side, and the other Wetzel's Pretzels.
That just shows you how big Disney Springs is, because there's 2 Wetzel's Pretzels, whereas most malls in America, I think even probably the Mall of America, probably only has 1. So if it has 2, that means it's huge.
It's huge. It's really big.
And I think a lot of those places too, I think some of them, you have to check the menu. They might offer snack. You might be able to redeem your snack credit there.
Okay.
So it's like some of them don't have they don't like offer quick service, like a meal. So they don't, it's not, but still might be snack credit. You kind of have to just check. You have to look for that little Disney dining plan sign on the menu when you're looking. So if you can mobile order, but some of them aren't owned by Disney, so they just don't do anything at all. You kind of have to check.
Highway robbery. Anyways, so that's kind of I know it was nice and short and sweet, but that's kind of the sum up. We just wanted to highlight these are the things you cannot do.
Or that you have to spend 2 table service credits to eat
right.
there.
You
for
got
fine dining in Disney Springs.
So we're going to move on to the Walt Disney World resorts. Now, there are a lot of resorts and there are a lot of restaurants inside those resorts. And I absolutely 100% recommend that you take the time, if you like to go to Disney World, take the time to explore those restaurants, because you might find something that you absolutely love. This past trip, we went over to the Swan and Dolphin and had some really, really great Mexican food. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're within walking distance of another resort, check it out. Try it out. So anyways, 2 table
I think
service
that's kind of like
credits.
the unknown. It's like you just don't know. You have to like Disney's like for everyone. It's all about the parks when we go there, because we have like a limited time and stuff. But there's so much to do, like at the hotels, and you could go park hop, you go hotel hop, just like you can park hop.
Yep.
Go check out, see what's cooking.
Especially when you got the time. All right.
Especially when you got the time.
Do you want to read the 2 table service credits for the
right.
resorts?
So
So you got to save them up.
So these are the resorts, table service restaurants that are going to cost you 2 dining credits, and you gotta save them. Jico, the cooking place at Animal Kingdom's Lodge, or Animal Kingdom Lodge, not Animal Kingdom's Lodge.
Only for the kingdoms of the animals. Thank you.
Cape Town Lounge and Wine Bar, Animal Kingdom Lodge. Flying Fish and Boardwalk.
Mm-hmm.
Citricos at the Grand Floridian. Narcoossee's at the Grand Floridian.
Oh, such good things about
Citricos Lounge,
okay.
Grand Floridian. It's going to cost you 2. Dinner only at Topolino's Terrace. It's going to cost you 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's also going to get you some sick firework viewing.
Oh, yeah. Very cool.
The Storybook Dining at Artist Point with Snow White and the Wilderness Lodge, 2 table credits.
Mm-hmm.
Last but not least, the Yachtsman
There you go.
Steakhouse at the Yacht and Beach Club.
Interesting.
So that's a tour. If you hear us, we are tired.
Did you hear me yawning? Sorry.
We have been putting together a pool.
I know.
Abby and I all day. So we've been outside and it's been hot.
It's
been
heat
like-
advisory.
It's been like Florida hot, just without the humidity. It wasn't as humid.
Right. True.
Anyway.
Okay. Anyways, so continuing on. Now, yeah, I guess it's a little surprising because I feel like not typically, like I said, you should definitely go to other resorts and check out their dining. But I
Yeah.
don't feel like that is the typical traveler's
It's not.
want. And so to then be like it's 2 table service credits
Yeah.
seems like a turnoff to me.
Mhm.
But that's just me. Anyways, these resorts do not accept the Disney dining plan at all.
Mhm.
Just no way. So over at the is it just the Disney? Oh yeah, Disney's Boardwalk Resort. Ooh, has a bunch. The Cake Bake Shop, which is the Cake Bake Shop restaurant as well.
Mhm.
The Abracadabra, so cool in there if you get a chance to go. The Bellevue Lounge, the Boardwalk Ice Cream, and Boardwalk Joe's Marvelous Margaritas.
Yeah. Interesting, right?
Yeah, because I mean, it breaks my heart a little bit because the boardwalk itself doesn't have a lot of food options. And then it just listed all these things that are not even a part of the Disney dining
But
plan.
I also feel it's like Boardwalk is its own it's in its like own deluxe resort category because
Right.
it really is like. I mean, it's so much different. Even though Yacht and Beach, which is across the lake, is also a deluxe resort, it feels like Boardwalk's on like a different level. Especially now with the Cake Bake Shop, which we all know about the controversies of the prices and all the crazies, everything. So it just makes it seem, So there's really no, I mean, and there's other places to eat that we didn't name that do accept it, right? There was an Italian place that was very good. But like I said, we're just not naming all of them because of the fact we're not going through. There's a lot of restaurants in every hotel. Almost every hotel has at least a quick service option. Some of them, the deluxe, and some of the moderates, that would be mostly Coronado Springs, has table service as well. Value resorts are just going to be quick service, but you can use your dining credits there. Just to explain a little bit further.
Now, moving on, we've got the Disney's Contemporary Resort. They don't accept the Disney dining plan. That's the California Grill, Contemporary Grounds, and Outer Rim. Listen, the California Grill is amazing for fireworks. If you have the opportunity to go there, that's great. The Outer Rim, I would say you could definitely pass, but it doesn't really even have snacks.
No, it was just a bar,
drinks,
and you could just take. It's kind of people just like go there to like get a quick drink and then like walk around and go get food somewhere else or something. Yeah,
nothing special.
Just a bar.
Now, over at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, Victoria and Albert's does not accept the dining plan either. The Disney's Polynesian Village Resort, the Barefoot Pool Bar, interesting, does not accept. Kona Island does not. Pineapple and I does not. Trader Sam's Grotto and Trader Sam's Tiki Terrace do not. No surprises there.
Yeah.
The Disney Coronado Springs Resort, the Laguna Bar doesn't. I'm surprised that these bars, like the outdoor bars, don't take it. Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, the Uzma Springs Pool Bar, or Uzma, sorry.
Or
Uzma?
Maybe
Is it Zima?
Uzima?
Uzuma. All right. So sorry. And the Disney Saratoga Spring Resort on the Rocks Pool Bar does not take it. Again, really interesting because I feel like sometimes they have those snacks like the pretzels and whatnot, but they're not allowing
the dining plan. Now, did you see the next line that's on there?
All locations at the Swan, Dolphin, and Swan Reserve. Not surprised with that one because it's not technically a Disney property.
They're Marriott
property.
But it is interesting because they do get Disney.
Andy, what are you doing, buddy?
Deluxe Disney Resort.
Right.
Like perks. Right?
They do.
Yeah, so you get early you get early entry, you get I don't know. It's just kind of weird, but I get it. It's owned by Marriott, so like, get out of here.
That's
Lando,
all right.
hey.
Now,
Landing.
What is this next part? You said
here. We're trying to finish up our dining series.
Lando's like, I just couldn't hold it in. I have to be a naughty dog for a little while. Now, the pizza pickup participating resort food courts. So explain that.
So this is interesting. Now, Abbie and I did do a pizza pickup on our one trip when we stayed at Art of Animation.
That's right.
So you can purchase a pizza. You can order a full pizza,
Yeah.
right? At a price, or you can use your dining credits. Now, pizza pickup includes. You get it it costs 2 quick service, right? All these other places cost, 2 table service. But if you want to pick up pizza from one of the resorts, it's a full pizza, which includes a large pizza and 2 single serving non-alcoholic beverages or alcoholic beverages. If you're over 21, it costs 2 quick service for 2. It doesn't matter how many people are involved in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. For your family, if you have them available, it costs 2.
Interesting.
So their participating resort hotels are All-Star Movies, All-Star Music, All-Star Sports, Art of Animation, Caribbean Beach, Pop Century, Port Orleans, French Quarter, and Port Orleans Riverside. Now,
okay.
is it worth it?
No.
I don't know anyone that has enjoyed this pizza. I've watched YouTubers do this, try it out on their trip, and they were like, it was not good.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
How do you make pizza that bad? It's just bread, sauce, and cheese.
Just all you have to do is go to Domino's does it better.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
Little Caesars, but yeah, it was not a good pizza.
So
We were
bad.
starving. I think we didn't eat. We just had a pretzel at Hollywood Studios, and we were hungry, and we came back, and
It was so bad. Ugh, I'm so sorry.
anyway.
Now the pizza over at the boardwalk, which is not included in this one, was really good.
Yeah,
We
so I
enjoyed that.
wonder.
It was super expensive.
I
but it was
wonder
really good.
what that cost, because it wasn't listed as it doesn't accept it. So I wonder what it cost to get that pizza.
That's a good question.
Because it was I remember it was by the slice. We were just buying it by whole
It
pizzas
was
because
$40 for 2 slices
yeah,
or
it
something.
was
like
good
that.
pizza though.
Ridiculous. All right. So then moving on, you've got the private in-room dining room services available for guests at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort. And a meal includes the following for 2 table service meal credits
for
each
eating in your room.
to eat in your room. Oh boy. 1 entree, 1 dessert at lunch and dinner, and 1 non-alcoholic beverage or alcoholic beverage if you're a guest over 21.
But it's going to cost you 2 table
2
services.
table service. Can you imagine?
If you're that's such a conflicting thing, because I feel Disney Dining Plan is for people that are kind of maybe budget conscious, or they're just trying the benefits of using it. So why, if they're staying at the Grand Floridian, they're going to eat in their room. They're going to be like, I'm going to spend 2 table services.
Yeah.
So I could sit in here and watch, the Disney Channel. I mean, it's just while I eat. That just doesn't make any sense to me. But it also seems like it's Grand Floridian is the only place where you can get in-room dining.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think anywhere else offers that.
No, I mean, I've gotten room service before at Art of Animation.
Really?
Sure. Pre-COVID though. So maybe things
interesting.
have changed.
Interesting.
Yep.
So obviously all of these lists, just like anything else that we talked about in the prior 4 episodes, you have to kind of make sure to verify everything. The list, everything changes immediately. For example, our Animal Kingdom list, we talked about it was 8 Spoons Cafe, I don't even remember what restaurant had it, but they had the macaroni and cheese,
Yes.
and then they got rid of it. All of a sudden after we talked about it, and now you have to go over to the Smiling Crocodile,
Right.
which is only
To get your mac
open
and
for
cheese bites.
limited hours. It's open from 11 to 3 or something. So you just have to check the menus and see what's available and verify everything, because everything's always changing. Disney likes changes.
Listen, if it always stayed the same, we'd be out of a job, right?
True.
So
True that.
we're here to help you figure that all out.
True that.
So anyways, I think that kind of sums up our Disney dining at Disney Springs and over at the resort.
Resorts, yeah.
Yeah.
And you could check your stuff, and are you going to use? I don't necessarily recommend using a quick service credit to get a quick breakfast.
Yeah.
It just seems like you could get better value But then maybe you're a breakfast person. You don't like eating lunch. Who knows? Everybody's different.
Yeah.
But that's what it will cost you. Now, the question at hand. We've done 4.5 episodes. Lando. Come on.
Inappropriate, Lando. Now we've got a dog with a squeaky toy.
Yeah.
It is a shark, so at least it's festive for the time of year.
Bought that one. So question.
Listen.
After 4.5 episodes of talking Disney dining plan.
Yes.
Now, mind you, we haven't used it yet. In this new iteration, we are, and we'll probably give you a more in-depth answer now. But with all our research that we've done, do you think, is it worth it for like the Disney dining plan? Like if you had to pay for it.
Yeah.
Not, you could,
Listen, is it worth it? All right. So for me, like, I'm not really looking so much at like the cost as far as like, am I getting what it's worth?
Yeah.
I would really like to see a dining plan that like includes it all, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it's not so specific.
Yeah.
Because we've had to do an extensive amount of research and math calculations to kind of make sure that we're using it wisely. And I feel like, what is it taking the joy out of our vacation? Are we going to be, I remember when I used the Disney dining plan, when I was a young adult, and it was really like, you saved up all your snacks and then brought a bunch of snacks home, or like you stressed that you didn't eat enough snacks and things like that. And that's like obviously why they like changed the snacks down to like 1 snack a day instead of 2. But it was almost like a different stress. Like, am I utilizing it correctly? And why am I, it seems kind of stressful almost. But that being said, I hate looking at the credit card bill when we get home from all the places that we've eaten and weren't paying attention to. So I guess it's like a double-edged sword. You could have that, or you could prepay and think about it a little bit more wisely. So is it worth it? Yes. But not like in a financial perspective. I'm not saying that we're saving any money, but I'm saying that at least we've already prepaid and we're ready to go. Right?
Okay. Well, and see, that's why I think it's, to me, from what all of the research I've done, the only way it makes sense to me is if you are getting it on a free promo.
A free promo. Yeah.
Like, then it just kind of makes sense to me. If you're the type of family that likes doing table service and that likes having a sit down dinner or lunch during the middle of your day, maybe or breakfast, you could have a breakfast. Then to me, and you get on a free promo, it seems like it's worth it. Like, I look at it, like you're easily like, I want to say somewhere, $300, $350, maybe a little more, like per day for our family of 4.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, it seems
cheap.
like,
So, if you're looking at that free promo, I mean,
I think it's worth it. Standard, like paying for it, I think it's more just kind of watching what you're spending. To me, that seems like the option, but it's a lot of planning. That reminds me of, I kind of read this. What was it? It was, obviously we're all familiar with the term FOMO.
Yes.
But now they're saying that the new trend in travel is JOMO.
Oh.
And it's called the joy of missing out.
Oh.
And that's basically where it's kind of the anti-Disney of it all.
Okay.
Because when you go to Disney, like, you have to be, you have to kind of plan everything out beforehand.
Okay.
And you have to go and you have to have a My Disney Experience app, or you're like going to get lost and you're just going to be, it's just, even if you're not doing lightning lanes, like, you still, to check times and stuff, it just, in this day and age, you have to know where to eat and where the places are and the times and everything. So that's like more of the fear of missing out.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, am I going to miss it? I'm not going to make this ride. I'm not going to go on Peter Pan's. I'm not going to do,
Yeah.
Now they're saying that people are starting to do JOMO, where it's the joy of missing out, whereas like they don't want to be as scheduled and organized on their vacations, and they want to just be able to go on vacation and detach and put the phone down. And so they're saying that they think is kind of the trend coming up.
Okay. And I like that idea. And I feel like at the Halloween parties and Christmas parties, this is actually the place where you can really do that.
Okay.
Because less crowded, and you can just pop on lines and see the shows, and you're not so involved in your phone and in the scheduling, because the restaurants aren't really open. There are some here and there,
Okay.
but you're not
just like
following
kiosks
that,
and stuff,
right?
yeah.
It's specialty food items at the kiosks or at the quick service. So, yeah, I mean, I could totally see that as being a thing that I would love to hop on board with. I like it.
Well, I like how you're
Take
like,
my phone.
like I have to try to do it in Disney. Like I don't want to even think about vacationing outside of Disney. Like, I have to do it in Disney and make this work.
Now, again, if we weren't such Disney nerds and lovers, we'd be out of a job.
It's true. So for example, and this is what we're talking about, we do have good friends that are down there now.
Yes.
In Disney World.
Hey, Sean and Erica.
Yeah. Hey, Sean and Erica. By the time this comes out, you'll be at the end of your, you just had a magical stay at the Polynesian Resort.
That's right.
It seems like they're having a great time. Now, they're kind of doing things, obviously, they're not travel agents, they're our friends, but they're not Disney fanatics. Erica's been catching up on all of our podcasts, so we appreciate that.
I love that.
But they definitely been doing things a little bit differently, and I'm like somewhat been like a little jealous.
Rob has been judgy McJudger.
No, I have not been judging. Again, it's like because the way we do Disney, where we're like in the parks from open to close.
Yeah.
And it does sound tiring. Like sometimes, like when you explain it to people, and they're just like, "That's not what I want to do on my vacation.
That's not a vacation.
It's not a vacation." So our friends have been like going to the parks. They've been rope dropping, doing lightning lanes. And then like after lunch, they go back to their resort and go to the pool. They hang out at the pool and go swim in and relax and get, have a drink there. And then they kind of get ready to go back at night.
I think that's so cool.
Yeah. And I mean, the kids are having a great time. They're hitting all the rides. They're Mickey ears. They just did Chef Mickey's, which, people kind of love or hate. It's just a Disney buffet, but I mean, it's a different way of doing it as opposed to us. So they're so like we have to catch everything. We want to catch every show. Like I've been like sending them suggestions in the morning, like, hey, you should hit this, and this. But I'm pretty sure they haven't done any of my suggestions. But they're there. It's just everybody could do Disney differently, and that's okay. It's what your family. It's JOMO. Joy of missing out.
Yeah. And I think I shared that, like my family did that, we did the rope drop and early entry, did a couple of things. Yeah. And then, got lunch, or even sometimes just ate lunch back at the resort and then took a nap. I mean, we didn't even do the pool, and then came back to the parks.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know about napping. That might be a little tough, but maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know either. I didn't nap. I just sat there and listened to my Walkman.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I get it.
Discman player.
All right. So, that kind of wraps up all our dining stuff.
What kind of news you got for us?
So we got
today?
some news. So we're kind of catching up. We talked. Our episodes were going so long that we kind of skipped over some things, or we just touched briefly on them. So
that's right.
And this is kind of like in Disney, like one of the big news.
Which we're so excited for. I can't wait.
Is the Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away is going to, they've basically announced their show times, right? So their show times are going to be 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, cut it out.
Landy.
So that does mean that Magic Kingdom has extended its closing time to 11 p.m. starting on July 20th.
Okay.
Because it's going to have another parade.
The other showing.
Yeah.
So it's like the fireworks are in between.
The fireworks are I believe they're at 9:20.
Oh, that seems like a very quick parade.
So that's at least what I believe I've seen that they're saying it's 9:20 now. The parade is going to kind of go in the reverse order that the daytime parade goes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to start in Main Street and then end in Frontierland.
Yeah.
So, and then it's like a reverse. And what it's doing is it's kind of keeping the crowd flow away, right? Because people are like, oh no, we missed it. Let's run to Frontierland as opposed to going to Main Street where everyone's kind of getting ready for the fireworks already. So
it makes so much sense. However, the picture perfect moment of the glow in the dark stuff in front of the castle is not really going to happen. I was just thinking about how I always get the Headless Horseman coming down with the castle in the background. That's going to be different.
Okay.
Interesting. But I get it because you don't want to fight off the crowds coming to the exit while you're still enjoying the parade. That's pretty cool.
So that should be very interesting. On when Mickey's Not So Scary is having their Halloween party, the parade will not run. So you won't be able to see it during the Halloween parties.
Right. Okay. Also makes sense because all the same.
They're already doing their own. The Booty You parade's going to.
That has so many characters and so many people in it. So,
yes. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, as we said, the later closing is planned through at least August 2nd.
Okay.
So it may change in between that. They might cut it down. I could see them cutting it down to one. Yeah, as the days start to get shorter and
that makes sense.
Or maybe they'll do it too. No, I guess maybe as the nights are longer.
Yeah, but
later. I don't know.
Crowd fluctuation, they usually cut back a little bit.
Gotcha. And then just as note, because the 4th of July is coming up, the Magic Kingdom will be open till 11 on the July 3rd and July 4th.
And July 4th. Yeah.
So that's going to be a big deal. Yeah, we're looking forward to catching that parade.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Then, now this is huge news to probably no one. After a 2-month refurbishment closure, both courses at Winter Summerland Miniature Golf Course have reopened. Woohoo!
Dun, dun, dun.
Insert applause here. Yay. Now, if you didn't know, Disney has 2 miniature golf courses that are on property. One is called the Winter Summerland Mini Golf, and the other one is Fantasia Gardens and Fairways Miniature Golf. That one's been open this whole time. On top of that, the Winter Summerland has 2 different courses that you could go on as well. A lot of times, if you check if you're like of a park hopper, you usually get free. It says like in your Disney Experience app, you could get like free mini golf.
Admittance.
Yeah, to go in and check those out. It's Winter Summerland is back to its usual operating hours of 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reservations are recommended, but from what I understand, not necessary whatsoever. There's not a lot of people going to play mini golf, but it is something that you could do. I've heard that the Winter Summerland is probably it seems to be the more fun of the courses.
Oh.
So it's good that it's available because it's like all Santa and like summer or winter stuff, and you have to kind of go around.
Okay. All right.
So that's something else to do.
Now, your next news piece, I'm like surprised because it's been corrected for so long at our
it was
Soarin
Around the World. It was corrected in November of 24.
Right. It just feels like forever ago.
Yeah. Why is it taking them so long?
So what we're saying is that the Eiffel Tower scene has debuted, the corrected Eiffel Tower scene at Soarin Around the World in Disney's California Adventure.
Yes.
So, my goodness, that took way too long. The previous version was known for the tower to be like curved in the footage.
Eiffel Tower was curved.
So it like didn't look very straight. It was kind of confusing. But Disney confirmed in May that the scene would be corrected and the version of the ride at Epcot was updated in November 2024.
On top of that, it seems like they also changed their seatbelt system. I don't know.
It's kind of confusing
Yeah.
because if you're of a certain height, it's like you have to turn around and like say like, okay, I'm not at like the yellow or the red bar or whatever. Then I
Yeah.
have to do this extra loop.
Yeah.
But some people don't understand that you have to turn around and look at that line or something. And if you're above it, then you don't need to do the extra loop. And if you're below it. So, I mean, like it's too many directions. Like either do the loop or don't do the loop. And like just make everybody do the loop.
No, I don't want to loop. You're not looping me.
I'm just saying.
Don't put me in the loop category. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I
like to give a shout out to our nieces and our sister. Well, your sister-in-law, my sister, and brother-in-law. They actually were just at the actual Eiffel Tower.
They were.
Took some pictures on top of that, so that's amazing.
Very fun.
No, and they confirmed it's not curved in the same manner that it's curved in Soarin. Even though the Eiffel Tower is like the bottom is somewhat curved, right? When it kind of goes up like the four trusses as it goes in, it kind of curves and then goes up to a straight part.
Goes up straight. Yeah.
So anyway, now that we're talking wonders of the world, Astro Orbiter has had some ride testing happening. It's not fully opened, but people that want to risk their life of going up there after refurbishment. People have been ride testing it. So they still haven't announced when it's going to be open other than saying 2025. And it's been down since January. So it's been a pretty long refurbishment.
Yeah, really.
And I think they're just like, it was like maintenance mostly.
Yes. And they say they do it every couple of years, but I don't know.
It also makes you feel like, how were you that person that went on January 12th that went on it and like, wait, it's closing the next day?
Yeah. And it's like such a rickety ride.
Yeah, and it goes like kind of fast up and you're like above, you get great views of the park, but it goes like a little fast and it's like you're up there and you're like, this is kind of crazy. The big news, one of the big things too, like Epcot is gonna get one more big queue is coming back. They finally officially announced that on July 22nd, Test Track is going to reopen the new iteration of Test Track. It's kind of Test Track 3.0.
Woohoo. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, the new ride will push innovation forward and celebrate today's innovation while highlighting the past, present, and future. The new queue will feature 6 exhibits to celebrate vehicles and the people behind the vehicles.
Listen, these dogs are out of control today.
Yeah.
What in the world? They were exhausted all day from the heat, and now all of a sudden they're like, hello.
We're just going to fight. And then the cat's like in the middle of it. Or no, she's on your lap. There you go. I think she heard me talk. Now she's here. So yeah, we're excited for Test Track. I saw something pretty cool where it's like there's a scene where you're driving along like the Pacific coast, like the Pacific, and it's like you could fall off a cliff at any moment, but you're driving along that's like a kind of iconic scene. I would love to do in actuality one day with you.
Oh, I like it.
But for now, you could experience it in Test Track when it opens July 22nd. So it's no word on if it's going to be, I don't think, are they going to go back to a virtual queue because it's like a new thing, like kind of like what they did with Tiana's when it opened, even though it was the same ride system, the same ride. We'll see. We'll let you know as soon as we hear something, if it's just going to be a standby queue, if it's going to be part of MultiPass, whenever, blah, 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 blah. Universal Studios now. Woo-hoo. The Halloween Horror Nights is fast approaching.
That's right. I can't believe we start talking about this so soon.
I know.
We just got to summer.
We just got to summer. That just means it's halfway to Halloween.
It does. And
halfway to Christmas.
Yeah. Halfway to Christmas. Yeah. That's in July.
So they had a spring summer edition of Spooky Empire, which is a Central Florida convention centered around all things spooky. Members of the team behind Halloween Horror Nights hosted a panel to discuss this year's upcoming event, and the theme, the grand theme, is going to be the conservatory.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if that means like a psychiatric hospital or just like an old conservatory. Like, I don't really understand it, but
Interesting.
we're going to see. So it's like, that's Halloween Horror Nights 34. You're going to kind of go in, and it's going to presumably be the first scare zone is going to be this conservatory, but you're going to see additions like that spread throughout the entire park.
Okay.
So who knows? But all you people get scared of the conservatory.
Listen.
Whereas I'm
I
just
would get
scared of conservatives.
Brilliant.
Anyway, now going over to like what's happening, what else is happening in Universal Studios? Well, of course,
nothing
Epic
at all.
Universe. Our friends over at Disney World News Today, Walt Disney World News Today, DWNT, they just went over to Epic Universe and they confirmed that the rides are staying open 1 hour after the official park closing of 9 p.m.
Oh.
So they were like going there and it was still like 9:15, like 9:30, and rides were still giving queue times and they were able to enter their line after the park officially closed, which is kind of weird, right?
Well, so do you remember we had one report prior that was like they were closing the rides an hour early?
Could be.
And so now this is very interesting, conflicting news
And,
that they're
were
staying an hour late.
They were kind of showing that some of the rides were at capacity, so you couldn't get in the line.
Okay.
But then there were other rides that were, it was like How to Train Your Dragon, Island of Berk, the Hiccups Wing Gliders, which is a popular ride. It closed to guests at 9 p.m., but, team members weren't sure when Dragon Racers Rally would close for the night. But it was open past 9:15. Fire Drill was still open at 9:45 and had a 60-minute wait. And you're like, wait a minute, math. It's well past.
Yeah, that's well past.
Yeah, Harry Potter, of course, was at capacity because that's the most popular ride there. But like, you could go in a Curse of the Werewolf, Monsters Unchained. It had a 10-minute wait, and it was also open until 10 p.m. So that's kind of cool. So it really does, if you stay late, like, you're going to get on those rides.
Yep.
And it's going to be a little bit cooler, because the sun's down. And
yes, I would prefer that.
They don't really have a nighttime show yet at Epic Universe.
Yeah.
Besides the fountain going off, but that happens all the time.
I don't know that they do. I don't know that. Is Universal known for nighttime shows? I mean, they have one like on the Harry Potter, like a projection, but it's not like a very like
summer
long-winded
movie Magic Parade. Well, they had that drone show Universal did last year, and I think that's coming back.
Okay.
But we'll see. Now, the other thing was that, and this was kind of interesting, is that people are starting to say that Epic Universe is getting busier.
Really?
There were rumors that the first few weeks after the official park opening, which was the 22nd of May, that Universal was kind of limiting what capacity they were allowing into the parks.
Okay.
Which how they were actually doing that, I don't know, right? I don't.
I mean, it makes sense.
I didn't hear though of anybody complaining, "Oh, it was sold out. I couldn't get in." But maybe it was the first. I don't know. But anyway, they said that there's rumors that they were limiting it, and now it feels kind of like they're just opening it up, and it's getting busier.
Okay.
So this was just on June 19th. There was a report that the only ride at one point that was under an hour wait was the Constellation Carousel.
What?
Yeah. So like every other ride there was over an hour wait. And as we said, a lot of the queues in there are outside and you're waiting in the sun.
Yeah.
And like, you're just,
no thanks.
That's a lot.
Oh, that sucks.
Right?
Yeah. But I mean, I guess we can expect it for the first year, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
Really, really busy.
So that's something to think about as you're going down there. If you were planning on making a trip in the summer, it's going to be hot. You're going to be in Florida. I know we got some friends that are going.
Yep.
But they're willing to weather the storm and fight that battle. But as you are a pioneer, we're letting you know that it could be busy.
It could be, but we'll be right there with you.
Absolutely. Every step of the way. And that just about wraps it up.
Thanks so much for coming on our little bite-sized journey this evening and to join us for all that news that we've been skipping over for the past few weeks. Don't forget to subscribe to our episodes. We'd love to have you on board for the whole time. Otherwise, we'll see you next week, Pioneers. Have a great one.
This has been a Family Travel Planner production.